last word on the street. Okey doke.
And
Sweet.
segue to the main section.
Pretty much, yeah. So, that's all for news. Take it away, Stan and Troy from the past.
You got it.
Hey, you guys are seeing a lot more of me this month than you probably expected with the announcement of me taking an absence because, like, a lot of shit I freaking wanted to talk about just kind of popped up out of nowhere this month.
Yeah, I like how beginning of the month, like where I was like, yeah, Stan's not gonna be in the podcast for a while, but like each week it's like you are finding ways to put yourself into the podcast.
You, even if I'm dead, you won't kill me. I'll still be in the podcast. Like I will, like one day I will actually die, and then fucking like my soul will fucking find a Wi-Fi connection in hell and be like, "Sup guys, I'm here for the podcast."
Yeah, you somehow always find a way.
Like, freaking 2 weeks from now, fucking we'll be talking about Silver Lining. So,
Yeah.
so can't do it next week though because that comes out on a Friday and I'll be busy working, unfortunately. So I won't be able to play Silver Lining until the week after. Bleh. So, which, by the way, I imagine you'll be covering the news about that when this airs. So
Yeah, well.
So cool. So
They took forever to actually like have news on it at all. Because I looked online every day for like weeks to see if there's any news on it, but they just took their sweet time.
Well, they probably wanted to wait for what we're actually going to be talking about here, because Troy and I here went to the advanced screening of Into the Spider-Verse. And if you don't know what that is, it is a new movie by Sony Animation starring Miles Morales. It's like a what if scenario on what if Miles' origin story in Ultimate Spider-Man the comics, yes, happened at the same time as the Spider-Verse comic.
Yeah.
And
basically.
Yeah. And now I imagine people who've kept up with us will be like, great, what fucking shit is Stan gonna bitch about this time? Well, you'll be happy to know that I thought this movie sucked. No, actually, I thought this movie was really good. I will, just to give a brief intro. Me personally, so I guess we'll transition into our short, no spoilers part. I feel that the trailers didn't really do this movie justice. Because, or at least the ones I saw, I didn't see every single trailer, but the ones I saw either in front of other movies or just kind of randomly caught online, they made it kind of seem like this movie was going to be just straight out like a comedy. Like, Spider-Man comedy show, which, if you remember my review of Homecoming, I hate that shit. But, no, I will say, for the most part, this movie is very respectful in terms of tone, in terms of action, in terms of character development. I have a few minor gripes, but none of the parts I had a problem with made me go like, oh, fuck this movie. Like, no, they were minor. That was just kind of like, and then that was it. It moved on, So, no, if you are at all a Spider-Man fan, I actually do highly recommend you go see it. I really like this movie. How about you, Troy?
Yeah, I thought it was good too. It's really funny. As I was leaving, I had a guy behind me say, "There's been an Homecoming."
That guy's got good taste.
Immediately, I was like, "Oh, he's a friend. If you knew my friend Stan, y'all would be best friends."
Yeah. Speaking of people in the theater, sorry if I'm interrupting you. I just want to note this.
Fine.
Frickin', I really hope this movie does well. I do, because they did kind of hint at a sequel, A. And B,
yeah, they did.
B, maybe it's just because it was the advanced screening, so it was a day early. But, I don't know about you, but my theater was almost empty. Like there was like 10 whole people max in that theater.
That's how it was with me with Venom.
Yeah, so like for me for Venom, that theater was like almost full. There was like a couple empty seats, but it was mostly packed. For Spider-Verse though, man, that's like you could hear a pin drop, dude. Like it was sad. And like I finished the movie and I was like, "Oh, please let me actually do good." Like
I think it will.
yeah. Which by the way, there were 3 dudes who they were sitting right behind me, so I could kind of hear them sometimes. But they weren't being like loud or obnoxious. They were just kind of like making small comments or like saying like, "Oh, that was cool," stuff like that. And it's funny you bring up Better Than Homecoming because one guy he was wearing it was double funny to me because he was wearing an MCU Iron Spider shirt.